the Zen Witch here, coming to you on a gloriously bright and sunny day. We've had so much sunshine recently, and I don't know what to do about that. It's particularly bright because there's snow on the ground right now. And please excuse the mess. You see this wad back here? Fabric that needs to be folded that I just didn't get to. And if you could see around the corner, there's toys all over the floor because we got a frickin' toddler in cat form and his toys are everywhere. So I decided rather than fold fabric and clean up toys, I'm going to talk to you because I have a gift deck. So exciting. This one is called the Lantern Oracle. Thank you, Annette Klein from Sun to Shine Astrology, who's been such a major contributor to my collection. Just eternally grateful. The Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito, PhD, illustrated by Yuly, Alejo. Illuminate the shadows, empower your path. Beautiful, heavy box. This is Blue Angel, copyright 2020. And no new information on the sides, but on the back we've got that beautiful mat with the shiny cards. I really love that combination. Embark on a beautiful soul-nurturing journey with the ever-present and loving light of the eternal feminine wisdom as your guide. Ask a question and connect with the maidens, mothers, guardians, and crones. And of this profound and powerful deck for clarity, growth, assistance, and healing. See, we're used to the triple, Maid, Mother, Crone, but we have a fourth in there, which is a Guardians. To tell you the truth, when I do things like when I'm doing a ritual bath and I'm putting in the handfuls of salt, I do one for the maiden, one for the mother, one for the crone, one for the unnamed and unnameable. So use this deck to draw lessons, solutions, and insights from the shadows and be empowered to walk in truth and shine your light into the world. The 44 cards feature key phrases for immediate answers, and the guidebook offers further meaning so you can integrate a deeper understanding of the messages. With guidance for every stage and phase of life, the Lantern Oracle is a go-to deck for tapping into the supportive, caring, honest, and timeless divine sisterhood. Set features 44 cards and a 144-page guidebook. Let's get in there. All right. The Blue Angel puts that piece of paper on the top, which I'm not really sure why they do that. Here's the guidebook. Sturdy paperback. The Lantern Oracle illuminates the 4 directions of eternal feminine wisdom from her 4 phases of consciousness. Maiden is water, mother is earth, guardian is air, and crone is fire. I'm down with that. Each sphere of feminine energy speaks to a stage in our human development and spiritual evolution. The Lantern Oracle invites you to call upon her throughout your journey and shadow work for loving light where clarity, growth, assistance, and healing is needed. May it bring you much insight, warmth, and blessings. Thank you so much, Annette. This feels like a really personal gift to me, which is interesting. There's the gift receipts that came with it, so you know that I did open it. And we've got the plastic band on the deck. Here are the backs. And you know what? I'm going to do something that I haven't done before because I didn't know how to do it before. Watch this here. Let's take it down farther and go like this. And I can zoom you right in on these cards. I have wrestled for so long to figure out how to zoom in. And looky there. Now it can focus, hopefully, and stay focused. This is Spirit Self. Be who you are as you are. And we can take a look at the backs again. And of course, can I leave this alone? Oh, you know me, you guys. Come on. I want to see how close we can get and still have an image that's readable. I mean, that's pretty close. Are we focused at all? I guess as well as can be expected. Radical curiosity, seeing as if for the first time, every time. So I want to stop for a moment because I want to look at the, let's just take a peek at the book before we get more into the images. Look at these beautiful images. I'll put this down so you can actually see. Contents, we have me out of the picture. Maiden, so the first 11 cards are maiden, the second 11 are mother, The third are guardian, and the fourth crone. So I like the guardian. I mean, that's usually where I put queen, but I am completely happy with guardian too. Amazing. Let's look at about the author and the artist. That's what I'm really curious about. About the author, Angelina Mirabito. Angelina lives in Melbourne and loves walking meditations along the beach, botanical gardens, and any nature trails that involves a creek, river, or lake. Her PhD was on the therapeutic value of creative writing. How wonderful is that? Art, story, and symbolism are her bliss, as are the words the oracle and tarot open into. The worlds the oracle and tarot open into. Empowering others is a core value and motive that Angelina seeks to achieve by illuminating and supporting the ways story, writing, and art can be used as a tool for self-directed healing, self-discovery, alignment, and growth. Her website is writingforwellbeing.com.au. So, creative writing. I am very much looking forward to the book for this deck. I mean, the artwork is incredible. Yuly Alejo is a Spanish illustrator, concept artist, and digital painter. She was born in Malaga in 1989, where she studied at the San Telmo School of Art. She has now been in the industry for more than 8 years. Her fascination with medieval fantasy, Nordic culture, and Slavic legend can be seen in her personal work. Yuly's attraction to mysticism and the esoteric is reflected in most of her illustrations. Uh-oh. Screaming cats. Her female characters tend to be strong, determined, and have a connection to their wild nature. Yuly has worked with clients from the United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and Spain, and created illustrations for role-playing game cards, book covers, character designs, and concept art for novels. And her website is yulyalejo.com, and it's Alejo, which is why I'm not pronouncing it Ayeho. If I did it wrong, let me know. All right. So that's all I wanted to know before we continue. Radical Curiosity, we read that one. Wisdom in Play, our intuition knows more than we do. Strength of vulnerability. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. So we already have, we've got fairy type characters. Look at the ears. But we also have a cultural diversity. Thank you very much. The unknown. Knowing the unknown. Look at that gown. Oh, so hard to keep on, but so saucy. Trusting tricksters. The trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. Wow, the fox there. Distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. Here, I'll come join you again. Distorted perceptions. Wow. Weeping wound. You are not your wounds. I mean, these definitely are shadow work cards. No doubt about it. I'm loving it. Responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Assistance with access. It's necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. Look at the keys she's holding. Metamorphosis. Power and strength lie within our surrender to change. The person with the greatest capacity for change wins. Remember that? Cardinal rule of NLP. Creative power. Release your alchemical energy into the world. So I was going, pregnant maiden, come on. But no, this kicks off the mother set. Creative power. False beliefs. Once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways we can release the false limitations they confine us to. So you get a really a good description, not just a couple of words. You get a really full statement here about getting rid of the false beliefs you have about yourself and what can happen when you do that. Wishful expectations. Acknowledge the smoke and mirrors in your life for what they are. Wow, wishful expectations. Yeah. Distorted desire. And look at the artwork, you guys. This is absolutely stunning. There's a gorgeous realism, but there's a fantastical aspect to some of them. This is just like a really great painting. Look at the lamp. back here. Distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. Annette, you're right. I love this deck. This talks about the fact that the unconscious, the subconscious, it is what drives the boat. Melting mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many rules you fulfill. Nice. Oh, F-U-L-F-I-L. I've never seen fulfill spelled that way. There was always two L's at the end. Oh well. Misalignment. Could be an Aussie thing. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. I don't believe in miracles. And I know they exist. But I say that because I don't think they're miraculous. Miraculous means something happens outside the laws of physics. But miracles, what we call miracles, are a part of that universal law that we just don't understand yet. So I don't believe in miracles, but they happen all the time. I just don't believe they're miraculous. Radical honesty. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. Wow. Talking about how, having that facade to maintain just really limits your expression. Accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. Hello. Enough. You were born enough. These are powerful messages. Look at that. Look at the light in this. You're not really getting it on camera. Key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Yeah. And the last of the mother suit, women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. Look at that beautiful image. Now we go into guardian. Broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. Emptied. Oh, look at this. There's this light. I mean, you can see the light that's just coming out of that. This woman, Yuly, has a great command of her medium and of light within that medium. It always blows my mind, these artists that can actually make light shine out of a painting. Emptied. And look at the light at the womb level here, yoni light. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. Whew. Emotional energy. Emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. Yes. Yes. Emotions are messengers. They inform you, but they don't dictate. So met with appropriate attention, you give it the attention, you find out what it's telling you, you process the energy. The action is processing the energy or maybe acting on the information that your emotions gave you. And gratitude. Thank you for pointing me in that direction. Forgiveness. Hurt blocks our light. Forgiveness is about healing your own wound, not about letting someone off the hook. Always remember that. We've come so far, like just in the last decade or so, as a culture, as human beings, with our understanding of what forgiveness is and is not. Used to be, forgive somebody just to move on, and it meant kind of denial of what they did to a certain extent, or that the person hurt it's almost like peer pressure. It was pressured to just let it go and move on because the people around them were uncomfortable with hearing about the wound. So forgiveness is about healing your wound internally, doing the work that you have to do regardless of whether the other person is doing theirs or not. Healing to the point where you can say, I'm no longer carrying this raw wound. Renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. Yep, falling apart. Moving forward, the first step is taken within our stillness. I mean, they're just beautiful. Look at the eagle's shadow. Radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. Wow. And oh my God, look at this. Look at this. This woman has had a mastectomy. I want to cry. Talk about representation. In the warrior, in the guardian set. Okay. Voice. You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. Look at that. So she is equally adept in, total realism and in wonderful, glorious fantasy. Intention. Lacking personal direction begets confusion and life as a pawn to someone else's game of chess. Lacking personal direction. Yeah, you have to have a purpose and an intent, or you're going to get sucked up in somebody else's. Eternal gatekeeper. Look at her. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. Look at this many-armed goddess. Oh, they're just beautiful. Sharing. There is giving in receiving and receiving in giving. Absolutely. It's a wheel. Now we go on to the crones. And when I first got this deck, full disclosure, I took the band off. I just looked through the cards and I didn't look at the book. And I realized there was something going on when I got to the crones, that suddenly there were all these women that looked like me. And then I went to the book and went, oh yes, we are in 4 different categories here. Circles. Clarity begins in the eye of the storm. Presence of absence. Hold what is absent. Hold what is absent in the presence of your love. Think about the presence of someone's absence, or the absence of their presence. Confusion. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. Look at, she's lying there in the ocean waves with a lamp on her. I mean, wow, this looks like she's dreaming, dreaming in a lamp. Wow, the images. Transitions. You have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. Repair. Making amends rather than fun times reveals a relationship's true constitution. Oh, yeah. Being able to grow together and patch up your differences and just communicate with each other about difficult things, rather than just glossing over and let's just have fun. Let's make fun times and forget about the bad stuff. Yeah. Wow. Perspective. A calm and clear mind is free to see differently. Indeed. Inner integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. So we need to integrate the wild with external life. Peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment. Very interesting. Radical self-love. Look at her. Hello, darling. We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. That is true. Home. May your body be where a harmonious balance of love, strength, light, and pleasure lives. Yeah. Inner life. Your inner life is a guardian to be cultivated. Is a garden. God, thanks, Mercury. Your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. And the last one, lantern. Consciousness is light. Wow. Gorgeous. All righty. So we looked a little bit into the book. Let's go to the introduction. Let's do a little bit of blessing before my charcoal runs out here. Yes, still there. I purify and charge this with air and fire and soak up that fire of Azrael. I have such a good feeling about this deck. With water and earth, whoopsie. That's a little much. Okay, this deck really wanted to be blessed with water and earth. I bless it and make it whole, and let's invite our guides and guardians, allies and ancestors in. You can't see anything I'm doing over here. To, whoopsie, wrong one. Oh, I see what I got to do. I'm going to bring us down a little bit. Thank you for sticking with me while I figure out how the hell this works. There we go. All right, now you can see the whole thing. The smell of fire of Azrael on a beautiful morning. Takes me to like Starwood, as I'm almost burning my sleeve on the charcoal. Right on. Okay, introduction. The Lantern Oracle illuminates the 4 directions of eternal feminine wisdom from her 4 phases of consciousness: Maiden, Water, Mother, Earth, Guardian, Air, and Crone, Fire. Each sphere of feminine energy speaks to a stage in our human development and spiritual evolution. The Lantern Oracle invites you to call upon her throughout your journey and shadow work for loving light where clarity, growth, assistance, and healing is needed. That sounds like the same, yes. Yep, same here, may bring and blah, blah. The Lantern Oracle illuminates the lessons and the gifts to be received from the shadows of change, challenge, and confusion. Just as the advice of daughters, sisters, friends, mothers, aunties, teachers, grandmothers, and the wise women in our community can help us understand ourselves, so too can the 4 archetypes of feminine consciousness. The Lantern Oracle is an ever-present and loving yet candidly unapologetic light in the dark. Together, the young ladies and women of the Lantern Oracle nurture clarity, self-empowerment, and healing. They provide access to the eternal feminine energy, living love, and wisdom as medicine to work with, personalize, and integrate. So we have Maiden, Mother, Crone, the 4 guiding phases. Maiden is childhood and adolescence, openness, vitality, and vulnerability. Okay, the Mother, I won't read the paragraphs underneath. The Mother is young adulthood, earth, and fertility. So Maiden is fluidity, earth is fertility. Young adulthood, passion, learning, choices, trial and error, creativity, betrayal, disillusionment, and being broken open. Wow. Guardian is air and insight, midlife, empowerment, selfhood, authority, meaning, composure, gifts of renewal, and insight. So that kind of really vibes with my idea of the Queen phase, which is you have authority, you are to yourself. This is when kids have grown, but you're not yet in the Crone yet. Renewing yourself in that role. And then the Crone is fire and alchemy, elder, acceptance, integration, reconcilement, and wisdom. All right. Lantern Oracle supports you in facing the crooked forks, the crumbling cracks, and the missing tracks in your paths with grace, courage, and confidence. She supports you to make choices according to your truth and to prioritize what feels most aligned and right for you in each moment. Hold up. All the way on the other side of the room, of course. Sorry, friend. In the middle of a shoot. All right. How to cleanse the cards by smudging them with sage. Not the word smudge, please. Smoke cleansing them with sage, placing a lit candle beside them, or resting a selenite crystal on top of the deck for 4 minutes. Alternatively, visualize white loving light cleansing your cards, or cleanse them however you cleanse a deck. Each card is a lantern into your current situation, asking you to tune into the deeper meaning and significance of what's going on for you. The deck's focus on the present connects you with past hauntings or fixations, as well as future fears, constraints, or expectations that need to be released. It will also strengthen your alignment with your spirit self. Due to the power and intensity of the cards, it's recommended that you draw one card each day for 40 days. You may find it beneficial to stay with some cards for a few days or longer. Go with what feels right to you. Ideally, you'll work with a journal that accompanies you through your Lantern Oracle journey. Every day, meditate upon the chosen card and what the illustration and message brings up for you. You may prefer to only meditate on the image and the title of the card, or the image, the title, and the message in the guidebook. Go with what feels right to you. This may vary each day. Use your journal for in-depth work, a 40-day period. Create sacred time and space, and blah, blah. Once the period's over, read through your journal. Observe the journey you've taken. Once you've connected over these 40 days, it's up to you to decide how you would like to continue working with it. All right, you can take a check-in by drawing a card once a month. Take a minute or two to meditate on the question. Pick a time frame that feels right for you. So we have the Lantern spread. What is in the way of me seeing this situation clearly? Why am I experiencing this? What do I know? What do I need to do? Or what do I need to do? And then we have the Luminosity spread. 5 cards. Why is this issue difficult for me? What important aspect of this issue am I not seeing? On what do I need to focus my attention? What are my resources? What do I need to do differently? All right. So the question here in Lantern, I wish for clarity on. And this, what is my spirit self trying to teach me through whatever issue? Let's do the Lantern spread. So what kind of clarity are we asking for? I'm not sure how to go with this, because I want to do something personal, but I don't want to do something personal right here, right now, if you know what I mean. Not like it won't happen if it wants to. Trying to shuffle this way, doable but difficult. The cards are very heavy. They're gorgeous. They have this matte finish. They feel great in the hand. I think this will be a spread and pick deck if they spread out easily. You know, that's one of the biggest arguments I have, is the decks that tend to be very difficult to shuffle in any way are also the ones that resist being spread out. All right. That one. Okay, I'm going to try to get 3 of these shuffles out of here, and then we'll go. All right. And now we're going to cut again. Spread out. I need clarity on. Okay, I'm being told to just leave the blank blank and let the cards tell it. See what I mean? They won't spread. They stay in clumps. And let the deck tell us what it wants us to have clarity on. So that's what I'm doing. Please bring clarity in the form of what will make sense to my viewers. Because you guys are the important ones here, right? You're in my book anyway. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now, 4 cards, please. What do we need clarity on? Right here. Okay, we got 2. I have my eyes closed. Down here. And here. All right, 1. It just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Radical Honesty is the first card. Women supporting women, distorted desire, and moving forward. First one, what is in the way of me seeing this situation clearly? Radical honesty, to believe in the facade, is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. So what's in the way? It's a facade, a persona, something that is like a mask or something that's not a true image. Let me scoot these over a little bit so you can see better. All right, let's look her up. Number 18. These are long descriptions. We've got 2 full pages of text here altogether. So let's read through this one, and then I'll go for shorter ones of all the rest of them. Pardon me. The Mother Warrior assures you that it is okay and not at all a failure or flaw to experience disappointments, betrayals of the heart, and confusion. Rather, this is what it is to be transparently and universally human. She encourages you to look candidly at your current limitations and past the regrets and the things that you wish were not part of your character or life story. The Mother cautions you against continuing to deny any unwanted reality in your life and your uncomfortable feelings about it. It is not okay to ignore what does not authentically fit you that creates unease or any kind of self-compromise or incongruency in your life. While denial seems to be an easy and simple solution to what evokes aversion or discomfort in us, it is not. To maintain the ongoing armor or facade of denial leads to a life on the battlefield of perpetual deceit, manipulation, strategy, and estrangement from ourselves and others. As time continues to go by, what is avoided or denied grows into an even harder and larger landmine to navigate. It's the elephant in the room. While honesty can hurt and be brutal in the moment of disclosure, the acute pain of it is always temporary. True, a rough patch of disruption, tension, and chaos typically follows moments of radical honesty, but it does eventually dissipate. The turmoil is never the life sentence that avoidance, denial, and deception are. True. Okay, but I want to say something here. That radical honesty doesn't mean brutal honesty. You can be radically honest, which just means unbendingly dedicated to the truth, dedicated to honesty about a situation. But there's a way to say things, and this is something that, thank God for Facebook and all the upheaval we've been through with it since I joined, more than 10 years ago, is that I've learned how to communicate in a non-scorpionic way. I have Scorpio rising and Pluto conjuncting my Mercury, so you know me. I can be horribly snarky and nasty, and particularly in writing, it can sound just brutal, just awful, and I am, that's my ego that I'm constantly battling, is that scorpionic Plutonian sting part. So I actually made a comment on somebody's post on a group I'm on the other day, and I made the comment, I went away, I came back, I read the comment and went, ooh, that was really mean, and I rewrote it because it is not I don't want to be that way. That's not what I want to project out into the world. So I need to be radically honest with myself that sometimes I'm brutally honest. And we can do it with kindness and compassion. We really can. It's an uphill climb for me, and I'm working at it every day. So, all right, talking about upheaval, talking about detoxing. Every time you surrender to tumultuous feelings, you're releasing the heavy armor of deceits that are no longer yours to carry. So, lying to yourself may be about past trauma, about what your family of origin was like. I remember, when I finally realized that, I always thought my family was so close. I would talk about, we're so close, we're so close. No, we were so enmeshed. We were really toxic and dysfunctional and completely enmeshed with each other. So coming to that realization and letting that deceit fall away was, yes, it was painful, but it also, I felt myself integrate. My life suddenly made more sense. The path of radical honesty can only beget more honesty. No one, regardless of how perfect they are or their situation may seem, is immune to the full spectrum of life. Yes, we all have pain, shadows, insecurities, battle scars, stories of shame, and things we wish we handled with more grace. As you become increasingly transparent, you attract more authentic and like-minded people, and those of the lie fall away. Then we have a mother's message. I think this is what I will do for the rest of the cards. So there is a shorter message at the end of each. Consider your reality as a mirror reflecting all of yourself back to you. See yourself through the eyes of compassion and love. So, compassion starts with yourself. Make it a priority to experience yourself in authentic connection with others and feel your world transform into the joyful fulfillment of all that you've been fighting for. So we have to stick with our categories here. So the writing is fabulous. And certainly a card a day, plenty to work with. But let's boil it down for a reading. So what is in the way of me seeing this situation clearly? This facade, some sort of illusion that I need to be radically honest about. All right, All right, I know what it means for me. I'm not going to impose that on it, so you can bend it to you. Number 2, why am I experiencing this? Women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. So interestingly, we can get a positive message, something like that, and think about its lack. If it's in the position of a card saying, here's the problem, and it's a positive card, I know with the tarot, that will either tell me there really isn't a problem, you're looking for a problem and there isn't one, or the lack of the thing that's being depicted there is the problem. So women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. And we've got just one page of text here. Women who share their weaknesses, struggles, and shame, as well as their joy, victories, and opportunities, support each other's life journey. Together, women have the potential to strengthen each other in overcoming challenges and to rise much higher than is individually possible. The last paragraph, may be time to reach out to the safe women in your life. It could also be time to explore your local community to discover where individuals connected to the divine feminine gather, or perhaps even organize your own circle at a park, cafe, or home, or on YouTube maybe. In empowering one another, we empower ourselves. So why am I experiencing this illusion, this facade? And that's keeping me from seeing clearly. Why am I experiencing this block? Because I need to reach out to safe women in my life. All right, I'm not quite connecting that. Let's move on. What do I know? Distorted desire. Wow. It might be interesting to do these two as one. The blockage is this facade, and because those two came out together. If I do this, I'm doing one of the things that I always hate when people do, which is manipulating a reading. But here I go, doing it anyway. All right, let me see. Give me one more, please. Over here. All right. And that means that, and see, I can't really put these together. Radical honesty, women supporting women. So what is keeping me? What's in the way of me seeing this? It's the group. Maybe this is the facade that I put on for you guys. I mean, it ain't much of a facade. I sit here sometimes with no makeup and a mess behind me and all this kind of stuff. So, I try to let you in as much as possible. But let's just look at where in our lives we perform for our audience. And then why am I experiencing this would be distorted desire. See, already it's making more sense to me. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So this is why. because desires are out of proportion. Knowing the difference between needs and wants is key to navigating what is at the root of a desire. Helps us to distinguish what is a self-sabotaging compulsion or mirage from what is genuinely a life-enhancing aspiration to be realistically pursued. Okay. When what we think we want is not what we need or long for, at a core level, the realization of such desires potentially results in something nightmarish rather than dream fulfillment. In worst-case scenarios, this can have us running for our lives like the featured mother. All right. So this is also, a facade and a distorted desire. So we need to bring our... we need to examine what the desires are that are motivating us and how they might be self-sabotaging, taking us in the wrong direction. Here's the mother's message. Once we get clear on what our heart's core desire is and therefore need, on what? Okay, that is grammatically impossible. Once we get clear on what our heart's core desire is, and therefore, what we need, we are ready to recognize it in whatever form it takes and to receive it. Make the space for your heart's true longing to come in by freeing yourself of any illusions still haunting you. This also says that we're having the issue because we're not really clear on what we want. Remember that the what is all important. So this relates to spell work too, my witches. That when you are very, very clear on the what, the clearer you are on the what, the faster it will come to you. So when you're going to do spell work or do visualization work, it's really good to spend all the time necessary getting as clear as you can be on the what. Now, if you're coming up on like a new moon or a full moon that is particularly potent, and you just need to do it by this deadline, you've got to do something and you're unclear, if you're brave, you can toss it out to spirit and say, here's the area where I want this change. Here's my kind of fuzzy image of what I want as my outcome. You know it better than me. I hand it to you. Please give me my heart's desire, the heart's desire spell. And then get ready for things to change, not comfortably. Okay. So we need to get clear on the what and be very honest with ourselves about what facade we're putting out and how we're performing for the people that we like, the people that we want them to think well of us. Okay. This one, what do I know, is moving forward. The first step is taken within our stillness. Let's go straight for the message. And boy, it's quick. What we leave behind releases us forward. So what do I know? When I dump my load, I can move forward a lot more quickly. When we feel stuck, tired, or uninspired, we typically seek change, movement, or stimulation by adding something new to our lives. We may also be advised to do so by well-meaning individuals. The assumption that an external alteration is the solution, the assumption being that an external alteration is the solution to our dissatisfaction. However, to only change the appearance of our lives typically eventuates in the new place, career path, partner, activity, or hobby, losing its novel appeal and ending as abruptly as it began. So, like the caged rat within its spinning wheel, our restless search for something, somewhere, or someone different resumes. So what she's saying here is superficial changes do not really move us forward. They just put us in a false situation for the time being until we get tired of that too. Rarely do we stop to ask the questions, have I actually moved? Has anything really changed? Why, after the initial buzz of something new, do I feel the same inside? So this is saying, what do I know? That I've got to look at what needs to be dumped inside of me. I need to look at the things in me that have set up the situation that I don't like, and how do I fix those things so that I can attract the thing that I really do want. And then the last one is, what do I need to do? And we have key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Let's go straight to the message here. Mother's message: to see into yourself with the eyes of love allows for another to see unconditionally into you too. Of equal importance is that it, in turn, allows you to lovingly see others this way. So what do we need to do? We need to look at ourselves through the eyes of love. We need to be compassionate with ourselves and encouraging that we are enough as we are, though that card didn't come up, and we can drop this facade. When we drop the facade and when we really solidify what we truly want, not what we think we want or what we think will be pleasing to those that we care about. You know, we have people that we care about how they think about us. And we really get out of balance when we try to please them rather than pleasing ourselves. And pleasing ourselves sounds really, self-serving. But what I'm talking about is satisfying. You know, when you do something, all right, example. An artist puts out a first album and it's fucking incredible. Unique vision, something you've never heard before. It's great, it's wonderful. And maybe they win a Grammy. You know, there's that second album curse for Grammy winners, because you get rewarded for this incredible work that you did. And so the pressure is on, because people liked it, to give them what they like again, rather than to express what I have to express. When the focus becomes, what are you gonna like? How can I make you like me? Rather than how can I be true to what's happening inside me and express that, then we're off. We're already off, and those don't work. And people can see through it. When you are sensitive, and you listen to music, you can tell when something is a real genuine expression, that this person had to get this out, versus this person was under pressure to please an audience. There's a huge difference between the two. So yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Then we have to understand that moving forward doesn't mean producing for the ones out there. It means healing what is inside of us that took us in the wrong direction. So dealing with that part that feels like I'm not enough, that needs to be a people pleaser, that can move us forward. And then we need to treat ourselves with love and compassion. That's the first step, is, darling, it's okay, you're enough. And then that can let the woundedness start to show itself so that it can be healed. Wow! Bam! This is a very deep deck, and it really brings, the shadow issues. It's a tremendous balance of shadow and light. The artwork is absolutely fucking stunning and incredible, and the writing, although a little thick, it's a little dense. I'm not going to say it's dense, I'm going to say it's deep. That this person is writing from a very deep place. And certainly she conceived of a great tool here. So thank you, Annette. Thank you so much. If you would like to buy me a deck and get this copious thanks and a reading that is geared towards you personally, hit that Amazon wish list below. Find something that you think I would, really vibe to. I mean, I've got everything and then some on that list. Just, I want all the decks. So you get to decide what you think matches me. And there's something special about those gift decks. There really is. So Annette, again, you've nailed a really beautiful deck. I think this will probably show up on live readings next week. And you can also send me a tip if you feel like it. This is my living. I really appreciate the donations. Thank you so much for those of you who donate. You can also join my Patreon and get in on Zoom calls. We've got one coming up this week, and we can just hang out together and do some readings and whatever we want to do. So jump on Patreon. You can join my Discord. Did I say Discord before? Don't worry too much about the Discord. The Patreon is what'll get you there until Discord really starts picking up. Anyway, you guys, like this video so more people can see it. Subscribe to my channel. Comment below. I still answer all my comments when YouTube tells me they're there. I apologize if I don't comment for a couple of months because I suddenly discover something I wasn't notified about. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. I will see you on Saturday for a prayer circle live stream. I will see you Monday and Friday for unboxings and Wednesday for a reading live stream. Till we see you next time, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.